Hello, this is Nick from Alienactive software. This is my first video tutorial, and I will be showing you how to get into programming. This tutorial focuses on the language C. I will be showing you the common Hello World example. However, before, we will go over some key points of the C language, including history and features. So here we go. Dennis Ritchie of Bell Labs created C in 1972. Dennis and Ken Thompson both worked on developing Unix. C did not just pop out of Ritchie's mind. The C language is based off of Thompson's B language. Certain languages can perform certain tasks. For example, BASIC was developed to resemble English, so students could have an easier time learning it. C overall offers shortcuts that can reduce your workload while programming. C has features that computer science theory and practice find desirable. C encourages to break down code into functions. However, we will talk about that later in this tutorial. Also, C is an efficient language. It is designed to be concise. There is a lot more about the history and what C can do, but that will be a later tutorial. Now let's get started. Whenever programming, you should start with a clean example of what you want done. For this example, I want the code we write to print the statement, Hello World. The next stop is writing and compiling code. After you feel how your program works and feels, it is time to start debugging. Your program can run, but there is probably still some bugs that you can fix and find before the official launch of your program. Debugging, as a definition, is finding and fixing problems in your code. As I learned C, I followed 7 basic steps. However, I feel that one main point missing. Here are the 7 steps. 1. Define the program objectives. 2. Design the program. 3. Write the code. 4. Compile. 5. Run the program. 6. Test and debug the program. And finally, 7. Maintain and modify the program. I feel that there is a step missing between steps 6 and 7. What's missing is distributing your code, which we shall get into later, possibly in a later tutorial. Now we need to talk into supplies. For a program to exist, it needs to be written. You can use any text editor, however, I strongly recommend one with syntax highlighting for the language you wish to write with it. You also need a compiler, because the computer cannot understand written phrases, and it needs to be compiled into machine code. Currently, I use dev C++ 5.0 beta 9.2, which can be found at http://www.bloodshed.net. That's BLOODSHED, Bloodshed. It features a text editor with syntax highlighting and a built-in compiler. Make sure you download the version with min.gw/gcc. Now you may be wondering what syntax is. I have mentioned this word before. Basically, syntax is the grammatical arrangement of words in a sentence, but it has to do with the grammatical concepts, as you can have a syntax error in English, such as cheetahs run fast do. Not only do you sound like Yoda, but your sentence has a syntax error. Code can also have syntax error. They must be cleared out before you can compile. Now finally, let's start writing our program. As I talked about earlier, what objective I want the program to complete. C is a top-to-down language. You start high by defining broad code and work your way down to define specific code. First, we need to add the include. The include pre-processes instructions. Following the include is the main function, which is then followed by other functions. Braces mark the beginning and end of each function. Note that parentheses cannot do this. It has to be brackets. Now I will introduce you to the printf function. It prints a message. The f is there to remind you it is a function. The printf function is similar to BASIC's print command. So let's start coding. As you may recall, we need to start with the program with an include. I will be using stdio.h, or standard input output header. So let's add it. You must add the pound sign before the statement include, so if you were to type it out, it would look like #include angle brace stdio.h angle brace. Now we need to add the main function in brackets. Now we have #include angle brace stdio.h angle brace. Next line, main parentheses close parentheses. Next line, bracket. Next line, close bracket. Now I will add the printf function within the brackets. It should now look something like this. #include stdio.h. Well, I forgot to say angle sign or angle bracket. Sorry, I'm really confused today. New line, main parentheses close parentheses. New line, bracket. New line, printf parentheses. Quotation marks. Hello world. \n close parentheses close quotation marks, close parentheses, then a semicolon. Next line, close brackets. So you may be wondering, what does the \n mean? In C, it means new line. You will have to remember to add a semicolon after every line of code in C, or else you will receive a syntax error. So now I'm going to show you how to write the program. So I have dev C++ running here. I'm going to click on it and go to Untitled1. I just hit File, New Source Code. So we're going to do #include angle bracket std input output dot header. That's just how I remember it. Now we're adding the main function, as I explained earlier. Bracket or brace, and now we're going to add the printf function, parentheses, quotations, hello world, \n, close parentheses, close quotation marks, close parentheses. I just did it again, sorry. And now we're going to close the braces. So you might be wondering, like I said earlier, you have to remember to add the semicolon. However, I forgot to do that, and now I will show you what happens as a result. So I'll go up here, execute, compile. Okay, I need to save it for, sorry, my bad. Should have done this before. But I'm gonna save it as a C source file. I'm just gonna call it hello, and then execute, compile. So I come out with a error, and down here, I'm not gonna drag it down because it's kind of laggy, but it says C users nick desktop hello.c syntax error before close brace token. So what this is telling me is that there is a syntax error before this line of code, and I know that, so I'm gonna add the required semicolon, compile it, and it's done compiling, so it's good. So now if we go back to my desktop, we've got the compiled program right here. So you could double click on it, but I find that it like opens really briefly and then closes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it, go into my computer, go into my temp folder, and paste it here. Yeah, I did this earlier. Okay, so I've got my hello in there. So I'm going to open up my commands prompt now. And I'm going to type in cd, that's the drop down, c \temp. And so now I'm in my temp folder, and I'm going to type in hello, and we get an output of hello world. So that's how you run the program. Now I have a challenge for you, the viewer. I want you to try to write out a code that prints a message similar to this. It says, "For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he is a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny." Remember, you can hit enter to start a new line and type out the printf function without the parentheses and quotation marks, and it will show up on a new line. That's it for now. The next tutorial will be on multiple functions in C. Thank you very much for your time. This is Nick with Alienactive. Goodbye.